Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video, we're going to make a little bit of progress on several different things. So we're going to go over a possible fan shroud and how we're going to make it. We're going to go over some sheet metal work in the back of the car and how we're going to proceed there. Some final thoughts on the air filter. And also we're going to show you the last two AC condenser brackets we built. Alright, y'all enjoy. Hey guys. So, we had talked about building a fan shroud for the cooler in the back of the car. And I had a question. One was, could we 3D print a shroud? Now, I don't know if this will work for heat. You know, it may just melt depending on what you make it out of. But one of the questions I had was, how much would it cost and how long would it take to design one? So this I threw together in like 5 minutes. This is roughly the size that the fan shroud would be, but I just made this stuff up. So, you know, it's not actually the right one. But what I wanted to do was to see how quick could I model something. That was like 5 minutes. And then also, how much would it cost? So let me show you the cost side of this. It's pretty interesting. Alright, so this is a website called Craft Cloud. So you can see here, you just go to their website, click on get a quote, and that's the file. So it's just a step file, so I just exported that. And then it shows you all the different options. So let's see. Right now we're only looking at nylons. So nylons have better heat resistance. It's not fantastic, but it's decent. And you can see here, we're looking at what, 85 bucks plus 35 bucks, whatever that is. So about 120, I think. So about 120 bucks to get the part printed with shipping. That's really not that bad. I mean, 120 bucks, we would have to buy the material, we would have to weld it, so, and plus this is all one piece, so the cool thing about 3D printing is you can do some geometry that's complex that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do, or it would be cost prohibitive, time prohibitive to fabricate. So that could be a good option. And I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to try to show you the cheapest option instead. Okay, yeah, that worked. So check this out. I got rid of the nylon and just said, show me the cheapest thing no matter what, which is PLA. It's always PLA. But look at that, 34 plus 14. So that's what, $48, $49 maybe? So for $49 with shipping, I could get one of these printed and shipped to my door. And that would allow me to do test fitment and find out if it even fits right. So that's less than half the cost of getting it printed the final way. So that could be worth it, depending on, especially if we used a more expensive material. But that's kind of neat. This is cheaper than I would have thought it would be. I actually haven't clicked on this. I don't know what the lead time or any of that is. But that's pretty impressive. Let's just see what this shows us. That's 8 to 12 days. So for 48 bucks, we could have this in 8 to 12 days. That's really not that bad. You can see here, you can get quick. Much faster turn time, but it's more expensive. But hey, that's a pretty cool option, to be able to design a part and get it printed and just bolt it up when it shows up. So I don't know if we're going to do this. I ordered some other parts unrelated to my car, actually, for another car that I designed and had 3D printed. So I'll have to check, but I have to business partner. But if he's cool with it, I'll show you some of those parts when they come in, and hell, I can show you the designs and all kinds of stuff. That might be interesting to some of y'all. But yeah, we may do this fan shroud, not this one, we'd have to actually engineer one, but we may try this and just get one printed and kind of just see how it turns out. I'm almost curious. What I'm worried about, obviously, is the heat. I don't know if that nylon's really going to hold up in an automotive environment, but I'm kind of curious to see if it would. So this may just be like a test, we spend $100 and something bucks, find out if this is really viable. Because if it is, I mean, that's kind of neat, to have that ability to, we could print all kinds of stuff potentially if it holds up in an automotive environment. So anyway, that's all I got. Thought I'd show you all that. Could be interesting. All right, y'all take it easy. Hey guys, welcome back. So we'll wrap up on this air filter part. So we've been letting this dry for a few days, and this RTV is completely cured. It's super solid. But let me show you what we did to speed it up. So we have a bucket, and we just threw a little bit of water in the bottom, and then I just set the part in the bucket. And what that does is it puts, as the water very slowly evaporates, this whole region is basically a high humidity environment. And this is RTV, so regular RTV actually uses moisture from the air to cure. So there's no like epoxy or anything that, chemically mixes up, it just uses water. And since I had, you can see how thick some of this is going to take a while to actually penetrate deep in here and fully cure. So we threw it in here and just let it kind of marinate. wasn't soaked in water. Like I said, it was just, you know, thin layer in the bottom that's like a half of an inch or something. But it was enough that the whole environment was humid. And it worked. This thing's set up really solid. I tried tearing it in several spots. Like, say, like right here, I would grab on this side and this side, and I pulled as hard as I could. It did not budge, and I tried it in several spots. So I now have confidence that this is going to work. Anyway, thought I'd show you all that little trick. I'm going to put it on the car now. Alright, check this out. Speaking of progress, we got this air filter done. So we are one hose clamp away from calling this finished. This thing is sitting up here. We just got to put that... I think I have the clamp, but if I don't, I'll buy it. No big deal. But yep, air filter's on, and it looks good. I like how this turned out. Got a... Yeah, there's a nice shot. Look at that. Big air filter, big turbo, and a big downpipe. Looks awesome. So, pretty happy with how this turned out. Well, check this out. We got these lower condenser brackets built. So these are kind of like the top ones, except even simpler and shorter. And these went quick. We just basically followed the same method that we used on the top ones. Bent our angle, stuck it up there, marked it, drilled a hole, did the other one. That's about it. So we got that one over there. This one over here. So yeah, AC condenser is officially installed. Very nice. I'll show you the only possible concern I have. If you look, get this camera in here just a second. There we go. So we have an AC fitting here, and you can tell that's kind of close to that brace. But if you look at it from this perspective, there's actually a lot of threads before it gets to that. So worst case is we're going to have to put a notch to clear the fitting. But it may work fine. But either way, that's an easy fix if it does hit. And then this top one, we got room all around this one, so no big deal. So anyway, we're going to say AC condenser is installed. So yay for progress. But let me tell you what we've kind of figured out. We took some measurements, and I think we're looking at about 27 inches across and about 4 inches deep, and then the sides are, I think, 17 inches this direction. So what we're going to do, rather than cut and make all this metal, I'm just going to purchase this metal already cut to the correct length. So I'll pay a little bit more for it that way. Now I got to get it shipped anyway, but I'm going to order every piece cut to length, and that's going to make putting this together a lot easier, because essentially I can just stick it in there and weld it together, and that'll save us a ton of time. So if you're doing a project, you know, you pay for it a little bit, but man, sometimes it's worth it. And right now I need to make progress, so if I have to pay an extra $5 or $10 and all my pieces of metal come in already cut, ready to do it, that saves you time. And hey, you know, like they say, time is money, so I want to make progress on my car. I'm willing to make that compromise, or make that decision, not really a compromise. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna, this tray, I don't know if you can see my mouse here, but basically this depth to the bottom of that frame is right at 4 inches. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to carry that all the way across, and we'll weld a little flange around the perimeter. We're going to buy that metal too, already cut to length, and weld this stuff up. So I'm going to get the parts ordered. The only downside, the website that I purchased this from, they actually got pretty good deals and their shipping is reasonable, but they're kind of slow. Sometimes it takes a week or so for them to even get around to cutting your metal and boxing it up. So we're probably looking at 2 weeks away before I have any more updates on this, but when we do get the parts, it should go together quicker. So just part of project planning. Alright guys, well, hope y'all enjoyed the video. I know this one kind of bounced all over the place, but it's just kind of how progress has went lately. Alright, y'all take it easy.